Does anybody, you don't need to do this in any particular order. Wild Rose?
Yeah.
No, Wild Rose, yes.
I'll put a bit in the last piece.
Okay. Oh, it's good that you've got the scores. Thank you. Did you want to say anything about this piece before we play it?
Yes, it's from Woodland Sketches, so I thought it fit quite well with the previous piece.
Yes.
So quite a picture, painting, tone piece.
Great. I think we've probably got time as a short piece to play it in its entirety. Would you be comfortable with that?
Sure. Yeah.
While you're winding up and down, can I just say how important it is to do that? To adjust your seats. I've had so many people in my role as adjudicator, I often have people come up and they think they haven't got time to do that. And it couldn't be more vital that we're sitting physically free and comfortable. So always do take time for that. And if you are playing from memory, take the moment to put the desk down. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, before we get stuck into how this fits into the context of this lecture, I just want to draw your attention. I'm sure you were probably aware that you play it rhythmically a couple of places, and something slightly unusual happened at the end. Did you mean to replay that at the end?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
Tie. Yeah. Okay, good. Now, I think with this piece, it's all in the title, isn't it? Can you imagine anybody before 19th century writing a piece, well, maybe Francois Couperin, but to a Wild Rose? What this does, I mean, when we see the word sonata, we go into our left brain, don't we? We've got a kind of model of what a sonata is, a format for a sonata. But a piece with a title that's really, it's a poem, isn't it? Or it's a picture, or it's a mood. And we can even see, do you mind if I just hop you up for a second? It's probably, if I'm doing the hopping over, it's easy to go this way. You know, I can feel here the rose opening. And then it opens more, doesn't it, the second? There's a feeling of yearning or some sort of painful nostalgia about it, isn't there? It's a very sentimental kind of mood. So if we were teaching this piece, because I know that this is set, I think, for grade 5, isn't it, at the moment? Do you teach any grade, are you teaching this piece?
No, not this piece.
It would be the sort of piece that you could get them to tell you a story about the setting of this rose. Maybe it's over a door frame. Maybe there's a little sign in the window, home sweet home. It's got all those, and there's, of course, gingerbread is floating around in the air as well. Smells and things. And the way we approach the keyboard for this, I think there's a lot of caressing, there's a lot of touch that we can really use. Now, the double escapement, Erard's double escapement, means that when did he patent that? Does anybody remember when that was patented? Okay, I tend not to be very good with dates. It means that we can repeat a key without releasing it to the top. So if I've got these two repeated E's that keep coming, that's me repeating it to the top. There's me being careful not to bang the second repetition. Do you hear the difference? What I'm aiming for there is to release the key only partially so that I can replay it without it ta-ta. What I'm avoiding is that kind of bang accent. And if I then would add to that a little movement forwards so that you'd have the two repeated notes are played on two different spots in the key, then I can produce something that's really melodic rather than accented. I like what you did. You did some very nice pedaling, and this again I think probably comes into the whole romantic idea of blurring the edges. I'll show you. You hearing what I'm doing? I'm releasing the pedal. I like the word squillimeter because it can't be precise. Or actually in terms of times, it's a nanosecond late. So that I just blur, if I feel a diagram coming on. If you've got, let's say this represents one sound, one pedal, and that represents the next one. In sort of clinical, classical style, as soon as the harmony changes or the texture changes, my foot would go up and down. Whereas in this, the foot comes, let me draw a parallel, this is just off the top of my head. What there would be a moment there where both harmonies sound together. So my foot, instead of coming up, down, I call it the yawn pedaling because it comes up, down. And we get a little moment where both harmonies sound together, but because it's only fleeting, we don't perceive it as dissonance. We just feel it as, that's a satisfying hugging of one chord to the next. You did that actually, I don't know if you were aware. Did you plan to do it?
I was just trying to enjoy the tones.
Enjoy, that's the word.
The resonation.
Yeah. You can't play this piece without enjoying it. Well, I suppose you could. Nobody looks at a rose because they've got to, unless you're a botanist. But you probably want to revel a little bit more sensually in it. Speaking of sensually, isn't there a feeling here when you've got your increase? I love the way he just uses the word increase. What would that be? Crescendo e animato, I think. There's a feeling of a rubato here. Now, a new voice. Don't be frightened to, Daddy Bear's coming back at that moment. And then when you get to this spot, again, this is something in the Romantic period, that we can do longer pedals. We'll get onto this in a little bit with the Grieg, the idea of the pedal texture. So we don't need to change the pedal at all from here.
It's the same harmony.
It's the same harmony. Yes, it's the same harmony. It's one texture. It's actually very, very lovely. I don't know if you want to try it. You want to just explore that. Of putting the foot down here and enjoying that. The sounds building and piling on top. A bit more top note. Yes, that was, if you don't mind my saying so, quite a stingy rit. The retard. We could be a little bit more generous with our retard because we're coming home, we're coming home to the A section. So you could do a little more if you wanted. Now, just generally talking about how we might voice, because voicing is really important, and we could get a grade 5er to do that as well. It doesn't have to be just something advanced pianists do. I wished he hadn't written that ending. It's so... Why did he have to write that? You see, the thing is, if we've got... Can I hop you up again? If we've got a secure bass note, we can get away... Not only get away with this as part of pedal texture, not changing it or adjusting it somewhat, but I don't see how you could really get a grade 5 to do that. I'm thinking of this as an example of where you don't change the pedal at all. As you play that whole introduction, the pedal doesn't get changed once. You would have thought, hang on a minute, you're telling me I can have this all sitting together in one pedal? Yes, only because of the bass, which running off keeps referring back to. Strong enough, I don't mean loud enough, well, some part of it is to do with being loud enough, but the bass itself,
to clear the tones.
It enables, yes, because that's the bass, spelled maybe A-S-E as well as, double S. What I'm doing there is strong enough bass, strong enough top, adjusting my pedal. This is the thing. I'm not having my foot down there and saying, well, he's told me to pedal it. Yeah, pedal it, which means adjust it. It might mean vibrating it to clear the worst of the middles and to preserve the bass, the bottom. Because if you think about it, if I play any bass note on the piano, any low note, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 changes of the pedal, up, down, pretty quick changes. The bass still stands. If I do that with this note, well, 1, and it's gone. So this is a fact of the piano, a fact of the romantic piano, the modern piano, that bass notes hang around longer sometimes than we want them to. But genius piano composers take advantage of that fact. So what you did there was very good, actually. What you need to do, though, is to have a bit more solidity in your bass note.
Do we keep the finger firm?
Do you want to try it? This is what I mean by pedal texture. It's a pedal texture. Firm on the A, clear enough, like a bell at the top. You're putting in an extra note. Oh, okay. Yes, tie that from the previous bar. Give space to that. Give space to that. There you go. Can you vibrate your foot? That takes experimentation. The vibration clears the worst of the dissonances while at the same time preserving the bass note. That's an art in itself. That's another lecture, and I don't want to get into that now. We probably should move on, only because there's other people who need to play. Thank you.